All right, my boy. So for real.
What's going on, Marcus?
What's out there? What's out there? Oh man. So let me let y'all in on the scenario just so you know. Okay, so when your album Candy Rain came out, I was in my last semester of college and I played that CD to death. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, so it's definitely a pleasure to check out my boys right here.
So you know more about this, the radio hits that the majority of people only attracted to, like, you know, the Candy Rain, and you know about the Spend the Night and the I Don't Know and the,
yeah.
You know, Oh My Son.
Yeah, definitely.
The whole real deal.
Exactly. Yeah, so we definitely gonna have to talk about some of that stuff. So the first thing I want to ask you all is, now you got signed to Uptown Records, but what was the state of the company when you all got there? Because they had already been legendary with, you know, Mary J. Blige and Guy and Al B. Sure and Jodeci and all these folks. But the same year you all came out, Andre Harrell left and Heavy D took over. So what was the state of, was it still like everybody felt like it's the legendary Uptown, or was the company kind of in a transition mode when you all first got there?
Yeah, honestly, Mark, this is Brian. It definitely, looking back, I think that we could say, yeah, we looked and see that there was a transitional stage because of how short our career was underneath their management and their tutelage. But back then, of course, 6 months, 9 months seemed like a lifetime. So and as young as we were, and as inexperienced as we were in the game, we didn't really know what to expect. It was just all a learning experience. So, that's the real, messed up side to it. The positive side was just, the learning. It just was an unfortunate transitional time. You know what I mean? But to tell you the truth, we did get to experience that, that Uptown, that camaraderie, the Jimmy Love, the Dice, the Andre, the Puffy, we still got to experience that Uptown family. We was just the last group that Andre signed. So
all right. So what was the time frame from you all being signed to actually getting in the studio and recording?
So like about a month, couple of months.
Oh, okay. So y'all was just ready to go right away.
No, they were ready to. They were also ready to go right away.
Exactly.
Okay.
They was like, we got to get this album done in 2 months, and we got it done in 2 months.
And to be exact, it was exactly 6 weeks that the album was done. All 11 songs.
Okay. Reason why I asked that is because, years ago, a lot of companies did artist development, but they got to a point where they were more so looking for artists who was just ready to go right away instead of taking that time to season them like they used to, like in the 60s and 70s. So that's why I was kind of wondering, like, if you all were just ready to roll and they was ready to roll, or if they said, okay, well, let's groom these guys for a little while, then put them out.
We absolutely were ready to go.
Okay, cool. So now let's get into the album itself, okay? So obviously it starts out with Candy Rain, the big hit single. That's the one that people know the most, number one hit and all of that. So what are some of your memories of that particular song? Like, did you just know it was going to jump, or were you not sure? How did you all feel about the song itself before it even got out?
This is Chalk speaking. We liked all the songs we recorded, but we personally we weren't even thinking about choosing Candy Rain as the first single. But they knew what they were doing, actually, obviously, because when they chose Candy Rain, it really gave a really, really big splash for us. It was an impact that, we really didn't have a choice but to go along with and start even looking at the song differently. Even to this day, like, I still feel good about the song. I feel like, we were blessed to make that type of impact in the music industry.
Definitely off of that. This is Jason speaking, but I remember, what I remember from the song, from that, recording that song was just the fact that Chuck came with the original idea of it, and have heard him say it, and then said, "Yo, Terry, come in," and then yo, listen to him say that again, Chalk. And then Chalk sang it again, and she listened, and then he said, yo, you gonna go make something off of that? Make something off of that. And she did. And then came back with Candy Rain, what we know as Candy Rain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
And the dope part about that, Jace, just adding in, is that the magic, you know what I mean? That it was like, yo, we, of course it was a learning experience for us. So we, like Chalk said just now, we really wasn't too attached to any song or knowing like, oh, this one is going to be the one. Naturally, they had the know-how and, the behind the scenes, the mechanics to make something a hit record. We didn't have social media back then. So,
right.
I mean, just catching the magic with Have and Terry in the room and Soul For Real. That's really what was the dopest part of that.
Okay.
To me.
Okay. Now, what about the remix? Because it was already a number one hit. It's already doing its thing. And then y'all came out with the remix. Talk specifically about the remix. What was special about that? Because remixes were real big in that era.
Yeah, to me, this is Chalk again. That was real special, and I think to all my brothers, because we actually got to feature with Hev. And you got to realize, we're fans of Heavy D's. Before we met him and wound up being the group that he introduced to the world, we were big fans of his music and followers of his career. And it was like super amazing to have met him and have him responsible for putting us out. That was special because he featured on the song with us, and it was like kind of like a dream come true, being introduced musically to the world, and then featuring with one of our most favorite artists.
Super dope.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that's like MasterCard. It's like priceless.
I think, it's Jay speaking, I think the dopest part about that record, or that the timing, like how he chose to come with that at the same time, the sample, just everything, all the ingredients that went into it, and then on top of what Chuck just touched on, like that's our Heavy D became our friend and brother. Yeah. By that time, it was just honestly like a surreal type thing. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So that went to number one. You had the gold single. Then you came back with Every Little Thing I Do, another gold single. Now, was that one that you all felt strongly about, or how did you all feel about that one? Because that was a hit too.
Yeah, I think honestly, the funny part, I think that we felt strong about all the records. I guess because, like I said, because we were learning, we just knew that we knew our harmonies were real strong, and we knew that we came from the competitive edge, so we was like, all right, we coming into the game, the world's gonna hear us, and we like to compete. You know what I mean? We're competitive, so obviously in our whole arsenal, we're gonna feel like we have hits. That's not to feel or be too cocky, or but you got to be confident. And that when you had a Soul For Real, young workhorses like we were, it was like anything we touched. Andre had the remedy, we had the ingredients, and it was like, yo, let's go.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And the fact that you all kind of switched it up in terms of the lead vocal, I think that helped you out a lot too, because sometimes people can get so used to just one voice that they're not accepting if it's a change later on. But because it was a change with the very next single, it kind of expanded the range of what people thought you all were capable of doing.
Yeah, that was that to me. And I think I'm talking for my bros too. We really liked that, the switch up, because it was just a sample of how we originally wanted to be perceived anyway. Because we were
exactly.
Even though, like, Jace was pinpointed and we were made to be compared to the Jacksons with the youngest as the lead singer, that's not how we wanted to be perceived, because we've always been a group that there is no lead singer, like, because each one of us are capable. And when we were even searching for our record deal, we always displayed that. We always wanted to show the world that we're just a group of brothers that we all, we switch up and do things how we want.
That's what I wanted to help you say in it, is that not that there is no lead singer, that we all are lead singers.
Right. Like the Temptations. You know? Yeah.
Right. With the scoop, Jace, with the
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of great groups were like that back in the day. The Temptations, you had the OJs, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, speaking of the old school groups, one thing that I liked about the Candy Rain album or the CD is it kind of reminded me of a couple of albums from the 70s that are considered classics. The Ozzy Brothers, The Heat Is On, and Bootsy's Rubber Band, The Name Is Bootsy Baby, because you had the fast songs first, and then you had all the slow jams. And that formula, that format worked really well, because you, aside from the hits, you all had some other banging up to, like, my personal favorite out of the fast songs was All in My Mind.
All in My Mind. You see Chalk? You don't hear him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because that sample, my mom used to play that record all the time, the Crusaders, called Covert Action. My mom used to play that record, so yeah. Yeah, man, that bangs, man. And then, of course, If You Want It, you know, that was released as another single. And I don't know if you all ever heard of Doug Banks. He was a radio personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah, he was in Chicago at the time, and he went national the very next year. But I remember I was working with him at that time. I just started at the radio station in Chicago, and that was his jam. He was like, "Yeah, I like that song for real. If you want it, even singing stuff." So yeah, that was
Doug had us on his radio show a lot. I mean, he really showed us love.
Okay.
You out there, peace out, and shoot, much love.
Yeah, definitely. So, but like I said, you all had the slow jams too. So when it gets to the slow cuts, you had the Ain't No Sunshine, the kind of short to just lead into it, and then Spend the Night. And I'm gonna tell you, that record works very well.
A few babies was made off of that record, huh?
Well, not for me, because I put the condoms on right, so I but I'm sure there were from others.
Right.
Yeah, but so talk about recording that particular song. Like, what was, did you all switch up the vibe in the studio, like, to create a certain mood or anything, or how did that work?
The interesting thing about that record is Dre came up with that record, and Dre was going through something, if I'm remembering correctly, because I know Dre is not on this call with us, but I kind of remember that he was going through something with his girl at the time, and he came up with that song. And it was, I guess the real significant part was that at the time we were such rookies in the game that we didn't really get any type of credit or anything. We were kind of still learning, and It is what it is. The game is what the game is. So, when you're the rookie, you have to, go through certain things that you just got to go through. So, Dre did that record, and the record meant a lot to him. You know what I mean? So that record was really sincere to him. I don't really have the liberty to speak specifically or give any full details, but I just do know that that record is from him and the time that he was going through with his woman.
Okay, well, as good as that song is really like the setup for I Don't Know. 8 minutes. You ain't get too many 8-minute songs in the 90s. That's more of a 70s thing.
Right.
So with the 8 minutes of I Don't Know, I can definitely say personally. Now I had an experience when this was out. I had, a girlfriend my last semester, and we had that one song on repeat for a whole night. So that will always be my jam right there.
You know what he was doing.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I did a couple of books where I had the MC 500. It was like the 500 songs that I felt like best defined my life up to that point when I was turning 40. And that's in the 500. That was like maybe number 132 or something like that. Yeah, so that was always, so give me a little bit of info about I Don't Know, because that track, the vocals, everything was just perfect to me.
Yeah, Jace.
Well, I don't know. Actually, I'm a little foggy on that session.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, right? But what I can say about it is, what I do remember about that song is that it was one of the harder songs for me to execute and getting done, and we spent a lot of more time on it. It was kind of stressful because I was going through a vocal change thing a little bit, and I couldn't finesse it how I wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we got through it. But we got through it. You know.
Okay.
Boy, you got through it. You remember, Jace? You remember that was my favorite song on the whole album. I used to be like, oh my God.
That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, well, we all got that in common. It's definitely my favorite.
That's right.
Yeah, now you did the remake of the Patti LaBelle, If Only You Knew. And then Thinking of You, that's another one I got to give props to as well, because that was a nice way to kind of close it out.
Yeah, that record right there, Thinking of You, super dope. Shout out to Kenny Green, R.I.P., rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you about this. Now, at that time, I remember there were a lot of big tours. Weren't you all on the Budweiser Superfest in '95?
Absolutely. Yes, we were. Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. So talk about going on that big tour, because you had some heavy hitters on there, and that was the biggest tour going that summer. So what was that experience like going on that particular tour out of everything?
Going on the tour, of course, we can't be super X-rated, and just being the learning experience that we was having. Those are awesome memories, awesome stories. But you could just imagine, because it was so close to our debut, it was all just such a new learning experience that a kid in a candy store. You know what I mean? Beautiful women loving you, wanting you. You know what I mean, for what you love to do. You go from 0 to 100 overnight. You know what I mean? You have money.
And it's funny you mentioned that. A lot of people don't understand, in the 90s, that's how, like I said, I got into professional radio. I wasn't even actually on the radio yet because I was new. I was just in there helping out, man. The first day I worked, I got 9 phone numbers. So I can only imagine what it was like on the, singing on tour. That's a whole, because I had that type of stuff going on as well. So I know it was popping like that for y'all.
Oh yeah, it was like I said. So one real vivid moment where in our memories, I think we all kind of was like, wow, we're here, guys. We've officially made it. We were in Baltimore, and Jace was on stage. Of course, we all was on stage, and Jace pointed to this girl, and she fainted. You understand?
Yeah,
so to see that power in just you don't even have to say anything. To see that people are that mesmerized off of you just being in your presence makes you know that you reached the level of success that we were only dreaming about 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's some Michael Jackson stuff for you right there when folks start fainting. Now, I know that. Right. Yeah, definitely. So now you all had the challenges after that, and you were able to overcome them, and you out here now, you're doing your thing. So one of the things that I know about Unsung, I remember Larry Dotson from the Barcade said when they had their Unsung episode, it helped them out so much. Their bookings went up because people kind of remembered that they were out there and they were able to get more money, do more shows, all of that. What are some of the things you all are hoping to have happen from sharing your story on Unsung?
Well, I'm gonna take this one first, and I think I want obviously I think everybody's gonna jump on this question, which is a great question. But ultimately, I would like for the world to know that we're ordinary people. We've made some choices that we're not so happy of, and we've made some great choices that gave the world opportunity to know who we are. Most importantly, in our craft, we want everybody to know that we love the opportunity that Unsung is giving us right now, because you're going to get to learn and hear what Jace can do, with his solo career, Jace for real. You're going to hear what Chalk can do with his solo career. You're going to hear what Drake can do, and it's similar to the Wu-Tang Clan of R&B, because we support everybody's career individually as well as collectively. We want to let everybody to know that we're not just, these singers. Being entertainers is just part of it. We're fathers, we're brothers, we're nephews, and we're entrepreneurs. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, that's really nothing else to add as far as because you kind of capped it and touched on everything. But I will add that we finally get to let the world know a little bit more about us, and just like my brother said, like we're just like some real dudes, and we deal with real life issues, and we're blessed to still be here and to have made the impact that we did in music. We love everybody just as much as they love us, and we get a chance to show it.
Okay, great. So,
Yeah,
hey,
really.
good luck to you all on everything. Thanks for your contributions to the music industry from me and everybody else. I mean, I can speak for everybody, and I hope everything really works out really well from this Unsung appearance because you all definitely deserve that.